I need to talk. Um, I don't even know where to begin. I'm gonna start off with my content and why I'm not dedicated to, really putting in work to give you guys content. I've been going through a lot. It may not seem like it to other people, but I see it in my own eyes, and a lot has been going on. As you can see, I am in a different area. Um, and I feel like it's better for me. I don't even know if you guys are gonna get that much content from me. I've been asked a lot, why haven't I made a video? And why has it been so many months that I haven't made one? Well, if you want to listen, you can listen. I've been really trying to put in work for myself. You know, um, Sometimes I would have the time, just to do what I want to do, or whatever. But things has changed for me. Things has changed for me. You know, I started off 2026 with a rough start. And as this month, last month went by, I've been I've been still going through it. Currently, I don't know. I can't really think for myself. Well, it's not really much of thinking for myself. Um, I really want to do what's better for me and how I really see things, but I can't see it as far as other people can see it. I've gotten into different arguments, uh, and it's just caused me just to break down. And I don't I don't like arguments. I really don't. I try to, get away from the arguments, try to stay to myself. If I'm gonna prove my point, I am gonna prove my point. But with some people, you can't just do that. I'm tired. That's how I can put it. I'm tired. You know, I've been stressing. Really trying to do things for myself. Because if I'm there for everybody else, I will be there, but not when they want to. And I don't like how, people would take advantage, just to be like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? That's fine. I'll do it. But if I can't, I can't do it. I've just been really trying to focus on myself. I really want to blow up this content. I really want to, be able to like stream all these games and have talking sessions and doing outside vlogs, but I need help. I do. And I feel like, my viewers, which is you guys, I feel like you guys actually bring me up because I do see a lot of people. I seen what my highest view count was, like 900 and something. I was like, wow, people like to see this stuff. But I'm just really getting into this type of stuff. I've had my computer for like 4 years already, and I've been really talking about it. But I just gotta put in that work. I'm just tired. Day in, day out, I try to help out with everything that I can do in on my side. And a lot of people don't really see the successfulness that I'm trying to put in, or the stuff that, I'm trying to do for myself. As I look back at my past and what I really was and the type of person I was, it was really bad. A couple of years ago, I did try. I went on a live stream and I streamed FNAF 2 and went for like almost 3 hours. I was able to do that stuff, but now I'm just trying to really get on the road with myself. I can't do it with the negativity around me. There's a lot of negativity around me, and I feel like, I can't pursue what I really want to do. I get asked for favors after favors after favors, and don't get me wrong, I do have time to like really sit down and relax and try to, really think, but it's not as often as, I really want it to be, and it's gonna be like that. I've just been really going back and forth with my thoughts. My mind is like not clear enough, and I need to really try to focus on one thing that I really want to pursue, and it's getting to the point where I just need to just me. That's it. Just go straight on me. It feels like I have like a 150-pound weight on my back. I would have to set like responsibilities for myself and the stuff that, I have to do for myself. It's there for me, but I can't grasp it because of the way how everything is going with me right now. I just felt like this is something that I want to share with you guys. And not only just for me to just share my feelings, I just want you guys to, maybe you guys can relate to this, or, you guys could see what's really going on, because there's a lot of things that not only you, but, me and you have in common. And there's a lot of things that can be related to that. I'm really trying to do better for myself. I'm really trying my best. And I can't push forward if I'm gonna have that weight on my back. So it's not you guys. It's not just because, I need to do this just because you guys want to see content or whatever. You guys don't have to see this. You don't. It's just me, actually getting this out so you guys can hear my story or about what's going on with me right now. I try my best to make everybody happy. I really do. And sometimes it doesn't work in their favor because, it's not only, just me, but it's on their part too. I feel like the more you work with somebody and the more you exchange words, the less conflict it'll be for you guys to, argue or have to go through this whole situation just for you guys to be okay again. And that's what I'm currently struggling with. I try to, have conversations that need to be spoken about, or I try to, work through stuff that can be worked through, but it doesn't work like that at all. It doesn't. You can't beat around the bush for something that's really important. I started to slowly realize the type of person I really was when I was 16. As I started building on myself and really focusing more on school and really focusing on what I want to do in the real world, it hit me, because a lot of people told me, I have that, I have that in me to do it. I have that in me just to do what I want to do. You know? Not only just to impress somebody else, but to impress myself, because I do impress myself a lot with stuff that's really going on. But then I also have to realize, there's a lot of responsibilities out there that I would have to take accountability for myself and not just for other people. And I feel like that's what's going on with me right now. I don't want to have that type of relationship or bond with somebody that's gonna relate something that happened to them and make it seem like that I'm gonna be doing that. It's just it bothers me. Sometimes I do feel like I get verbally abused, and that's not something that I want to go through. That's not something that any of y'all want to go through. I don't want to go through verbal abuse or anything. I feel like if just having a conversation with somebody can change things a lot. It can change things, not only for the better of them, but for the better of you, and you'll feel better depending on how the conversation will go and how the situation will go. There will be some boundaries that has to be set. You don't have to relate. You don't have to put down. You don't have You don't have to put that trauma that you had in your past on somebody else. A lot of people have responsibilities, and a lot of people really want to do a lot of things, and that's very understandable. But it's not only when they want to. It's not. It's not only when they want it to get done or have to get done. They have to do it themselves. If they set that responsibility on them, make sure that it's not something that you're gonna go for. Yeah, you could be willing to do it, but not all the time. If you're willing to, go ahead. If you can't, you can say no. I realized that a lot of people that came in my life and went, they were my friends. They were my friends, but it's not the same as having somebody that's really close to you. That's like really, really close to you. And you can't talk about things. It could be, but this is how I did it. This is how you're gonna do it. And it's just gonna hit you and be like, why do I have to do it if you did it? Just because you did it doesn't mean I'm gonna do it. It doesn't work that way. It can't work that way. With that being forward, I want to push myself. I really want to push myself with that weight on my back, because I feel like I have no other choice. There's just a lot that I want to speak about, but I just can't. I really can't. Trying is a good thing. Trying to put in that effort just to make somebody happy or feel grateful that you did it is a good thing. Don't make it seem like just because you tried and if you can't do it, you just failed. As long as you try something, you feel good about it, even if it doesn't work out. I know a couple of times where I did try to make somebody, happy, that I did try. It made me feel good. But some cases, it didn't. Sometimes you're gonna feel like that if you try, it's not gonna work out. I was conversating with somebody, not saying names. But that person really made me hurt. I was trying to help them. They didn't want my help. Well, they did. They wanted my help at first, and I told them that I would try. I had a whole conversation. I thought it was gonna go good. It didn't go well. And then I asked them again if you want that help. It was like, no. But with that, it was a lot of lore that went down with it. At that moment, I felt like my life was going downhill. As I'm remembering stuff from my past, conversations that I had with certain people, and from my past up until now, I've just been remembering each time some situation happened and it's going down slowly. I look out for a lot of people when I can, and I really do. You know, a lot of people would say that I don't, or if it's any situation that I can't help out with, then they have a right to say that I don't. But as long as I know I tried, I'm good. I want to start off by saying I am the person who I am today because I built myself. I built myself from past relationships, people around me, current situations, real life situations, and I reflect on those. As you reflect on things around you, and you slowly start to realize that some people or something isn't really good for you or isn't there for you, it will take a toll on you. And that's a promise. It will take a toll on you, even if you know how to fix the situation or if you know how to conversate with somebody or whatever the case might be. It will take a toll on you. Sometimes people need to learn how to just come clean, have a good conversation, be more mature about it, and realize who you're talking to, you know? Some people are different. Well, a lot of people are different. You know, everybody got their own personality and they have their own situations going on. That's fine. If you do ever feel like you are in a situation that you can't get yourself out of, the best way is to, well, for me, what I do is just cope with something that I do. For example, like let's say I get into an argument or whatever, and I didn't like how it went. I try to distance myself, which is first. I try to stop the conversation. I distance myself, which is first. And then second, I just cope with something that I like doing, which is playing games on my free time. But sometimes it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out as you think. As you sit there and think about it, it'll hit you. And even if you try not thinking about it, it's going to happen one way or another. And I really learned that. I really did. I surrounded myself with people that wasn't really my friends. I used to get called something that I was not, you know, which used to happen a lot by other people. I used to get verbally abused, which is still something that I go through. And I feel like as a person that's been through it, I don't want you guys to experience the same. It's really a lot to uncover. It really is a lot to uncover. Spread the word, you know? you're ever going through something, just try to distance yourself away. Even if distance is not your thing, you know, just try to cope with something. You know, go outside, take a walk, play games, read a book. Something that'll work. Something has to work. Or talk with somebody else that you feel comfortable with. I'm only saying these things because I don't want this type of stuff to happen to you guys. Even if you're not going through it, and that's grateful if you're not, but these are for people that needs this word, that is currently going through something that they cannot get out of. So if there is that relation, you know, I feel you guys. I really do. I feel you guys. Even if there isn't, and there's somebody else that has been through it that you know of, I feel you guys' pain. I understand it. Even if it's not pain, it could be trauma, and whatever the case might be. It could be anything. Relating to somebody else's story makes you feel a bit more open on the fact on how you're not the only one. You're not the only one going through something that you feel hurt by. And not only just for me, but, you know, a lot of older people can be going through the same thing too. You know? Not saying that I have older viewers and they're like 40 something. I don't, but trying to target the people that's really going through something and they need a conversation like this. You know, just to be able to hear somebody out and hear their story and how they deal with it. It'll make them feel better about themselves, just to know that you're in a situation not by yourself. And it bothers me because I understand a lot of people. I do understand a lot of people. And I do want to get emotional right now, but I just feel like I have to hold it in, you know? I really do. It hurts, bro. It hurts. And I just want to spread this word to you guys. Please be safe out there. Strive to what you want to do. Be confident in yourself. Know the type of person you are. And do your best even if you have to try and you fail again.